Here's the culprit count for this book. Here's the culprit count for the entire series. And here is the end of book culprit count.
Argofont Book Review, Argofont Book Review.
Case 1. Everyone flies on a plane with 2 rows of 3. I simplified their seat requests for the sake of anybody who's playing along at home. Plum wants to be with the pilot. Peacock wants the right window in the back. Mustard wants front row. Scarlet wants back row by an empty seat. Green wants back row. White wants front row, right side. Plum and everybody else gets their request, except for one man. He kills Body from the back row. Who is it? It's not Plum, because Plum got his request. It's not Green, because he asked to be in the back. He can't be in the back and not get his request at the same time. Therefore, the male culprit is Mustard. Case 2. Body wants his guests to watch a baby, which is a terrible idea. The poor child will be traumatized if it's not murdered 6 times. White gives the baby to Mustard, who gives it to Scarlet, who ignores Green, who gives it to a female guest who's not Miss White. Who has the baby? Mrs. Peacock. It's pretty simple. Scarlet gives it to a female who's not Mrs. White. There's only one female left. The puzzle has 2 subtle clues. We know the guest is female because they're wearing a dress, and we know Green's the one who is ignored because Scarlet makes a pun based on his name. Puns that solve mysteries are the best ones. Case 3, Body forces everyone to dance because he's got a ballroom, might as well use it at some point in the series, you know? Mustard and Peacock dance together, as do Plum and White. One pair plans to steal Scarlet's necklace. Green dances with Scarlet, Green and Mustard change partners, Peacock sits out for the rest of the night, Scarlet dances with a woman, and she's robbed. Who did it? Incredibly similar to the previous mystery, Scarlet dances with a woman who's not Peacock, therefore she danced with White. So the culprits are Plum and White. I find it odd that Plum gets full credit as a culprit here when he didn't do anything. Case 4. For Halloween, Green is a ghost and Peacock is a pumpkin. Mustard stops White from hitting the skeleton, and the female skeleton wins a prize. Who is it? It's Miss Scarlet. She's the only female left. Case 5. The guests have a snowball fight, and wow, is this the first case that mentions the weapons? It is! The weapons have nothing to do with this puzzle, but it's a change of pace to ignore the weapons for most of the book. They split up into teams of 3. Mustard is with Plum, Peacock is against them, Scarlet is against Peacock, Mustard laughs at the team in green. What are the teams? Scarlet is against Peacock, who's against Mustard, therefore Scarlet is with Mustard and Plum. Presumably, Mustard wouldn't laugh at his own team. He's a big enough jerk, he would do that, but presumably he's not laughing at his own team. So they're on the not green team. They're also not green because green's not on their team. Case 6. Body has a treasure hidden in a quilt. A male has the lead pipe. Wrench knocks him out and calls him Green. Revolver shoots Wrench and calls him Plum. Body enters the room with White. He tells Mustard to put the gun away, and we're saying all the characters' names out loud because it doesn't matter, it's a fake-out mystery. The solution is that there's blood on the quilt. A real seamstress would use a thimble, so the culprit is an amateur. So it's Peacock. I was surprised to find out Peacock is the amateur and Scarlet's the professional. I would have expected Peacock to be the sewing expert. Case 7. There's a pie eating contest, and I'm sorry, keeping track of 60 slices of pie is too much work for me. I just glossed over that part, and I skipped straight to the ending, where Scarlet stabs Green with a fork and starts a food fight. The winner of the pie eating contest is Miss Scarlet, and fans of math can have fun keeping track of all the various slices. Case 8. Professor Plum loves fine literature, which in this case means fairy tales. Miss Scarlet brags she can feel a pea through 6 mattresses, just like the princess and the pea. She hides weapons in her teddy bear. She uses the candlestick on a literature fan, presumably Plum. She uses the revolver on a duel lover, presumably Mustard. She accuses a third person of not being a gentleman. Who is it? Green. He's the only male left after Plum and Mustard. And we're just going to ignore Peacock and White for the sake of this case. Case 9! The group prepares Thanksgiving dinner. Scarlet steals Peacock's ring, Mustard knocks out Scarlet, but Green chases him away with a knife, a woman with the revolver steals the ring, and Pipe kills her. Who killed who? Plum killed White because they're the only two left over. Just like cases 2, 4, and 8, we have tiny context clues which indicate who the characters are. Namely, Revolver had pumpkin pie on her hands, she must be White, she prepared a pie earlier. Pipe's face was dirty, and Plum cleaned out the fireplace earlier. Case 10. Body has a skeleton with a screaming alarm. It's worth millions. As usual, it's not important to the story. It never matters what valuable item Body has. All that matters is that his guests will kill to get it. This is a keep track of all the trades puzzle. Green has the revolver, Scarlet has the pipe, Mustard has the wrench, White has the candlestick, and Peacock has the rope. Someone strangles Candlestick and trades weapons. Body's attacked by Wrench, who's attacked by Pipe. Candlestick attacks Knife. A fight breaks out with the three remaining people. Pipe gets Candlestick, Revolver gets Knife, Mr. Body is shot. Pipe kills Revolver, and Candlestick kills Pipe. Who is not dead? Miss Scarlet is the only one alive, while Peacock shot Body. Green is the other murderer, but the book didn't ask about his murders, so it's almost like he got away with it, if he wasn't dead. The end. Post-book follow-up. Case 2 has a second part. The culprit is in the room that's between the southwest and southeast corner. I guess they got some complaints about the location puzzle in the previous book, because there's a note, it says, check out the game board on page 1. Half of the puzzles in this book have second parts. That is, there are 2 different questions to answer instead of the usual one. Like the final case, who's not dead? Who killed Mr. Body? You're solving 2 puzzles at once. It's a little different. I like the jokes in this book. The humor was better than the previous one, for sure. I didn't like the puzzles much. I liked the airplane one. I didn't like the pie or quilt puzzles, and I was indifferent about the other puzzles. There's only so many times I can enjoy the puzzle solution of the culprit as a specific gender, and the other 2 members of the gender were mentioned by name. I give clue number 10, the screaming skeleton, a sideways thumbs up.